hello to all of you in Kramfors. It's fantastic to be able to do an introduction for your videos and to celebrate the incredible work you do, the work that I've seen, the work that I've heard about, and the way that you're bringing that work forward to a wider audience. You know, one of the things that really strikes me and has always struck me about the world of education, when we talk about education, when we debate education, is I'm fundamentally concerned that we never talk about the purpose of education. Why is education important and how is it relevant to the lives of our children now and in the future? It's a scary thought, don't you think, that some of the young people who will be starting their school careers in the next year or so, those very young children won't be citizens in the 21st century. Many of them will be citizens well into the 22nd century. And if we're going to celebrate the future of education, if we're going to talk and debate about the future of education, then what we need is to understand the vision and purpose of education. Now, as some of you will know from my work, from hearing me speak, from the books that I write, that I have a personal three-word vision for the purpose of education. And I'd like to remind you of it now as you celebrate your work in gamification and business project-based learning. Because I think for me, when I visited Kramfors for the first time, when I heard about the work you were doing, it's why so much of it resonated. So let me remind you, first of all for me, the purpose of education is to celebrate life, to celebrate the potential of life, to celebrate people's futures and the joy they can have in living their lives to the fullest. In order to do that, we need to make sure that education is relevant to young people, to their lives now and to their lives in the future. Therefore, it mustn't be abstracted. It must be real and it must be relevant. Which brings me to my second word. So we have living and then we have learning. And learning is vital. We all know this. There's no argument that learning is the most important gift that any civilized society can bestow on its young people. But in terms of what I mean by learning, too much of what happens in education is abstract. Too much of what happens in education is segmented into a very academic pursuit of separated subjects. And what we need to discover is an education system that isn't just more relevant to young people and rich in context and purpose, but is integrated so that the skills and the knowledge come together in a way that young people can experience, so that they can see how education reflects and prepares them for the real world and challenges they face in the future. And that brings me to my third word. So we've had living, we've had learning, and possibly the most important for me in my vocabulary and my vision is laughing. You know, there is no doubt about it. Education is a very serious business. It will define the hopes and dreams for generations of young people. But education has to be fun. It has to be enjoyable. Learning isn't something that just happens in the first 18 or 21 years of our lives. We need to understand that the world's most successful people, particularly as we move towards the 22nd century, are people that can learn, unlearn, relearn. People that never stop questioning, challenging, asking, collaborating, cooperating, innovating, creating, solving problems together. And if we're to do that, then education has to be about joy. It has to be about the joy of living your life to the fullest, and it has to be fun. It has to be something you want to turn up every day to enjoy, to laugh together, to relate and work together, and to leave at the end of the day tired and exhausted, but ready to go back the next day for another dose and installment of that celebration of the essence of what life can be. So it's my delight to be able to introduce these videos to you, to celebrate the work in Kramfors, to celebrate the commitment towards gamification, to an education that is rich in contextual learning around the development of business projects and business life. So good luck to you all, enjoy the video, and please, please, please keep doing what you're doing. It's more than just important. Take care.